And as promised, here we have part 2 of my visit to the reservation, aka Big Chief Studios. And here we have Chief CEO, the Big Cheese, the boss, Mark himself. And as we said in part 1, part 2 features an unboxing. This unboxing. So, Mark, what have we got here?
We have the Sherlock, the Abominable Bride figure sets, including Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson in their Victorian attire from the Christmas special episode. Or New Year Christmas episode. Was it? I think it was Christmas, wasn't it?
It was a Christmas one.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's amazing how quickly you
it's been a while. They've sort of been long overdue, these figures, but we've had them be put through their paces in terms of quality control to ensure they match what we've requested, and that people are going to get a really nice set of figures.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I've got one on order as well. Do you want to show the box around?
Absolutely.
It's a tradition of how they do it.
So essentially we've gone very much for obviously a Victorian kind of feel for it, albeit with the silver foil detailing with the border and the logo, and you'll see a nice etching of the pair on that side of the figure with their names and obviously what the product is. We move it round to the side. On that particular side you can see there's Sherlock, a nice etching of Sherlock on the side of that box, which will slip out. And if I turn it around, the back side is more or less a mirror image of the front.
Yep.
Okay, and then on that side there we have Watson, similarly to Sherlock, an etching of himself.
Right.
So if I take the figure boxes out,
It's a good fit.
That's
You see the vacuum being corrected?
Yeah, I'll move that over there for a second. Right there. So here we go. So we have Sherlock and Watson, and both of the pair on the front.
It's not easy, is it?
If we take Mr. Sherlock out first.
Do you want to do him first or do him second? Build up.
You want to build up? Okay, alright, well, we'll just take his box and we'll just use it to show the back detailing of the explanation as to the figure and a little bit of a bio about the actual episode.
Yeah.
So,
These boxes are the same except for the side art.
yeah, the side art, they're the same boxes essentially,
Oh, so they are.
but they basically have one or the other on there, but obviously they have their usual identifying number and label on the bottom to tell you what they are.
These come as numbered pairs, so it says on the slip anyway.
Yes, obviously numbered pairs they'll match up, so the numbers will obviously match. So if you've got number 10, you'll get number 10 as well.
Starting off with Watson then.
Absolutely. So we'll get him open. There we go. Move that over there. Alright. As you can see, it's got a nice kind of almost distressed wallpaper look to it with the etching on the inside, in this case obviously of Watson.
Yes.
So
You see the sort of fake foxing on the paper there.
yeah.
I know what it's called.
It's
Foxing.
probably a little bit of Bovril or something, Victorian Bovril. And then we have the figure himself with all of his various accoutrements.
A lot of them.
There's a lot.
Alright, I'll hold the box down. I know what these things are like. Double tray.
A double tray, the one at the back there. And we also have the plaque stand, where on the production ones this one actually will come with a, obviously for the plaque, but it will come in a bag. So it's all protected. And then we have the certificate of authenticity again with the Victorian styling, with the etchings and the typography styled very much to look like the, as you would expect, of the era. So if we move on to there for a second, let's have a look at Mr. Watson himself.
Yeah, you're the expert with this.
So take that off there. Take the top cover off. Take off the all-important protector, the restrainer there. So the figure himself has got his various little baggies on to protect him.
Little bag of silica.
Put that in there.
Resistance socket.
There we go.
There's a lot of these.
Yeah, they have to be protected, don't they? So
Oh,
if
indeed.
I just position him, so he's got a bit of character to him. So as you can see, multi-layers of clothing.
Oh, nice.
The printed suit, which has got the tweed pattern on it. It's a three-piece suit, so he's got a waistcoat as well. He's then obviously got his overcoat, which is lined, okay, and his scarf as well, which has that got a bit of wire in it? Yes, it does. A little bit of thin wire in it as well. And
they do look nice with the layers of clothing on them.
yeah, well, I say these have gone through very extensive quality control procedures. We've had 4 different quality checks on these to make sure they were how we wanted. And initially, the clothing was not printed correctly and it was in the wrong colours, and so we made them, much to their delight, go back and reprint the fabric and remake the clothing because we were not satisfied with what had happened. As you probably are aware, the hair piece on him comes off.
Imagine it's that piece
and
there.
it can be switched for that one. There we go. Which should fit on. There we go. And then he can in turn obviously have...
Oh, well, let me
because he's got a very odd shaped head at the moment. But then of course we pop this on.
His hat.
Have I got the right way around? Make sure I get it on the right way. Put the hat on the correct way. There we go.
Oh. There we go.
There we go. So it's a good tight fit on that. So once you actually get the hat onto the hair, you can still get it out, but it'll probably be, you'll find that when you come to take the hat off, his hair will come with it.
Yeah.
But you can still get the hair out if you want to, but it's a good tight fit, so it's not just going to keep falling off the hat. But the hat, if you want to, obviously you've still got the regular hair piece, so if you want to display him holding the hat, for example, you've got that ability to do that, so it counts as an extra accessory for him as well.
Excellent.
So,
I'm seeing 3 sets of hands in here.
Indeed. He comes obviously with the 2 gloved hands, so 8 hands in all, and he's got the various regular hands as well. Now, we had some fun trying to get this thing out earlier, didn't we? Let me get that one right first. So this is the little candelabra, and it comes with the separate candle as well that you can place that in, so that you can be walking around the manor house, of course, where the bride was. Popping that in there, where the bride was to be found.
Looks like his army service revolver.
Yep, he's got his.
Yes, the trick is to these things out.
I think sometimes we might need just to pop them out.
Well, yes. It's not coming loose in transit because they're held in.
Yeah, well, they've normally got tape as well, so he's got his little Webley styled revolver, and I believe this one, the cylinder moves, so the cylinder for the bullets actually rotates. Ooh. I'm not sure if the hammer comes back on that one. I think it does on Sherlock's, but not on that one. So he has that. He has the Turkish slipper. So although that's technically for Sherlock, we gave Watson the slipper because there was a lot of stuff for a lot of accessories that came with Sherlock. But the paintwork on that is really quite lovely. They've done a really nice job on the slipper.
Yes. You can see it now
You
inside
can
the box.
see
The
all the
decoration
detail
on
and the decoration's very good, isn't it? They've done a really nice job on it. So he comes with that as well. The hands, obviously, like you said, the various hands to hold the accessories with. And obviously he's got his display stand here.
Look, the other tray.
And the other tray. And he's got his fob watch, which is on the chain, so he can actually put that into his waistcoat if he wants, and obviously the other one into his hand. So there we go.
Right.
Put that over there a second. And
now we just cleared some of the stuff out of the way because there's a lot of packaging involved here.
there is a lot of packaging
involved here.
So we have Mr. Sherlock. So similarly, obviously to Watson, same kind of thing. He's got the weathered and worn paper look with the etching on it. Take off the top cover of Sherlock there.
So are we reading then, really?
And the restrainer there to protect the head. So, and here we have the figure. Getting out. So similarly, we'll take off the little baggies, protect them, and there is Mr. Sherlock.
Ooh.
So we will most certainly pose him and his cape coat. I think it's a storm thing, isn't it? They call those things, I believe.
Yes, I think that rings a bell.
He put one arm behind his back. He tended to do that, didn't he? And have one arm up, like so. I'll give him that. And that's aloofness. Now, and you'll notice probably the very first thing that you will your viewers will notice is the fact that his collar's quite high. Now, what we suggest is, although you can keep everything on, because you can't actually see the jacket that he's wearing literally underneath this unless you actually open that up, you've got layers upon layers. You've got the shirt, then you've got the jacket, and then on top of that you've got the shirt, you've got the waistcoat, then you've got the jacket, then you've got the big cape here, and there's a lot of thicknesses of fabric that it's just impossible to make any thinner. So what we'd suggest that you do for if you want the best display is take the actual jacket off underneath him to have the outer cape coat on, because you can't see the jacket anyway, and it means that this collar sits lower on his head. It just looks that little bit nicer. I mean, you can do it, you can sort of futz around the clothes and mess around with them to your heart's content in terms of making it sit a little bit, you know, lower onto him, but you probably find, as I say, that's the optimum display. But so that you can see him, you can see obviously the printed suit that he's wearing here, the lining, the lovely purple lining of the coat, and this fabric is lovely. It's really lovely.
You can point out the extra detail here. You've actually got the red buttonhole at the top, which is shared obviously with the
bell staff coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing that they added to the bell staff coat, wasn't it? Because it never actually existed. They put that on, and of course now it's become a big thing.
A thing. Yes.
So
attention to detail.
There's wire in this as well, which is nice. So you can actually shape that and bring that in tighter to him, which is quite nice.
Or get the wind behind it.
Or you can get the wind behind it, and you know, you can have him striding across the moors there, ready to solve. You know, the game is on, as he says. So, but yes, if you get the hat out.
I'll get the hat out.
Because he doesn't need to have switch out hair pieces, Mr. Sherlock. Ooh, his hat goes directly on to him. I've got this the correct way around, and I haven't. Get it on that way. There we go. There is a specific way for it to go on. There we go.
Line the best fit.
There we go. So you can, you can obviously reposition that to a certain degree, but there is a specific way for it to go on the hat. And he comes with a number of accessories as well. Just as we pointed out, you can see his tie there. It's an unusual tie. The way it's there's no hanging part. It just literally goes around. There's a specific name for it, which escapes me right now. But there's a specific type of tie. That one's actually, this is our little pre-production one, that's why that one's sticking out there like so. Put that back in. So yes, there he has his lantern that he has obviously when he's out and about, as I say, looking for the bride in the maze, I think, isn't it? They go to this one. Does this one come back, or that one? The cylinder moves again. I don't think the hammer does come back on that one actually. So, but that one is Sherlock's gun, the correct revolver. He comes, of course, with
the magnifying glass.
His magnifying glass and his lovely pipe.
Hold it
There's a
down.
magnifying glass, which bizarrely kind of
It should. Does it work?
sort of works.
Yes.
It's like when you get from a Christmas cracker, I guess.
Yeah.
One of those type of things.
Really careful.
And the number of hands,
Yes.
of course.
The 3 sets of actual hands compared to the gloved hands he's wearing. He's got on him at the moment.
He's wearing his gloves.
Yes. Over there, what have you got?
He's got the fob watch, much like Watson, so you can fix that into obviously his waistcoat, and you can hold it, of course. And the riding crop. So that's what he's using to beat the corpse, if you remember at the beginning.
Yes.
And when Watson comes in looking somewhat.
I do notice over here though, there is another accessory.
Yes, his handkerchief. His little handkerchief, his printed handkerchief that he has as well. So that can be folded up. And it can be placed on, obviously, in his inside pocket, or he could be holding it, of course.
Along with the certificate.
Certificate, yeah. And the plaque stand, which is obviously for the signed plaques, which are not in this particular one, of course, because this is just a pre-production one that's been sent, not pre-production, a production sample one that they've sent us before they've put those in. So, yeah, so we're really, really pleased with the way that they've turned out. And as I say, it was a long quality control period, but we wanted to make sure that these figures were correct. You know, we've had a number of issues to which have sort of people known about, and we ourselves have said that we've not been content with them, and so we've been taking measures to alleviate those similar sort of problems in the future. So we want to make sure that these particular figures, well, all our figures, but these two that are the next two, which are going to be shipping and will be with us within the next 6 to 7 weeks by the time they actually they arrive. But we want to make sure that they're all going to be arriving to everyone as they expect, tip-top condition.
Indeed. And they say they are, well, imminent, 6 to 7 weeks away.
Yeah, literally. They've literally got to be, all organised, go through customs. It takes about a week to go through customs, and then it's about 4 weeks on the water, another week to get through customs here. So we always say 6 weeks door to door, give or take.
Give or take.
Give or take a day or two, but that's pretty much what they are.
Excellent.
So the two together
so people see them.
have the.
He does look good in his hat, doesn't he?
Yeah, when you get them posed together, they do look really nice. And as I say, when they get posed up properly, and they're not just being propped up by me, they look a lot nicer.
Yes, you do not get marked with your set.
No, you don't want one of me. Trust me, you don't. I'm very limited edition. Thankfully, but no, these they do look really nice when you get them together. They're going to look a really nice set, especially if you've got the 221B door diorama as well.
I was just thinking that.
They look great outside, outside that. So, but there's a lot of layers of clothing here, so there's a lot of, as I said, that you can see. That it's always the big problem with 1/6 scale, because you're trying to simulate fabric, which is obviously 1-to-1 scale at 1/6 scale. So you're always trying to find that thin fabric. I mean, you can feel how thin that is, and obviously that would be much thicker.
But it's not like paper thin, but it's thin.
No, but it's thin. So and it's meant so it has a natural fall to it, but it's also meant so it can, you can still bend the figure's arms and they can hold a pose, because that's the important thing. In the past, with our old body before when we had all the problems with the loose joints, you couldn't get it to hold the position properly, which was always, and it's still difficult here because obviously the thickness of the material.
The layers you're dealing with.
Yeah. So
I do like his
but again,
costume, his clothing.
He's
really evocative.
He's very nice, and he's all the fabric. Actually, the costume should be shown. They're magnets that literally hold them together.
If you open it and close it.